Welcome back, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, episode 4.
That was a very, very excited back.
Yeah, really tired.
There was energy in that.
We've had a long lecture, but we've got the energy. Don't worry about it. But it was I actually think this episode was better than last week's.
I don't
feel like
think
you maybe disagree because we had a little conversation about.
I feel like.
Yeah.
With the implications of what happens in this episode, I absolutely agree. But as a better episode, like as a thing, I don't think it's close. But I think mainly because I don't really like the first half of the episode. The second half it goes mental, but the first half is like it's decent, but it's not as good as last week. Whereas last week was entirely great.
I kind of liked the first half because we got it starts off from like Bucky going back to the Warrior Lady. I learned her name the other day and now I can't remember her name again. It's really frustrating me.
I read it. I sent it to you as well, didn't I?
I literally went through and researched who she was because people were saying she was Okoye. I was like, no, she isn't.
It's not Okoye.
They don't look anything alike. And then we were trying to figure out who it was, but I couldn't remember. She's the lady that is in Civil War and is the one that steps up to Black Widow and is like, move or be moved. And it was like, ooh! She's really cool, but yeah, she's in the episode not as much as I thought she would be, but she's quite important because it turns out she's the one that actually reconditioned Bucky into being normal.
Yeah, I found that really interesting. Like when it starts with Wakanda, like as much as I didn't like the rest of it, but the fact it actually started with Wakanda, I was like, wow.
That was really unexpected for me. I didn't expect. First of all, to see Wakanda, like outside of the Black Panther movie, I was happy that they were. But I guess it makes sense because we've been dealing with race and stuff the whole time, so it makes sense to go to Wakanda.
Yeah, it did. It made sense when I thought about it, but I was like, I didn't think that's how they start the episode. Like, it was straight in, like, they've conditioned him to be White Wolf now instead of Winter Soldier.
But not conditioned, like, taking over his mind. Like, they've made him go back to normal.
Can I also just make a statement, right?
Go on. Cheeky teaser.
This is the first. This is completely skipping it, but it's just the point that was made. This is only the second episode where we actually see him in the Falcon suit, and Bucky is not the Winter Soldier. Yet the show is called Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Yet they're not either.
Yeah. I don't mind Bucky not being Winter Soldier. But yeah, Falcon not being in the suit a lot is kind of crazy. But I do like it because
he goes full cancer mode in this episode.
Yeah, because it's kind of like, for me, right, I always forget Sam ain't got no powers. Like, he is essentially... No, he's not essentially... He's just a human that has this cool suit. And before he even was an Avenger, he was using that suit in the army. Like, this isn't like a new thing for him. Like, he's been doing this. And I kind of like...
Yeah, he was like a paratrooper, wasn't he, before he got the wings?
Yeah,
in Winter Soldier.
I love that the show plays into that. I think that's really cool. And yeah,
I think this episode does it the best when it's like because like when you see, it is Winter Soldier, isn't it, where we see Sam being the counselor towards all the army veterans.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
And then it comes back in this episode where he's like, I've done it before, and he's actually able to talk to Carly. I was like, that's actually so nice. Like, it's a new dynamic to it.
Really good moment. That was a standout moment. Even though I knew how it would go, it was predictable. Like, I knew that John would... Is it John?
Yeah, John Walker.
Yeah. I knew he'd run in and ruin it all. Like, it happens all the time. But it was still a good scene. But me and Vincent were talking about this earlier. I'm not a massive fan of the character Carly. What do you think of Carly? What's the last name?
Morgenthau. Carly Morgenthau.
That's it. What do you think?
My green screen is having a madness right now. Let me move it so sort itself up.
It's crazy.
I don't know what it's doing because the green screen is right behind me. But anyway, I think the biggest issue we have is, one, to me, like I think I brought this up last episode, she looks too much like Tracy Beaker to me. I don't know why. I can't not think that she's Tracy Beaker. No, that's not like my... No, but the thing we were talking about earlier is her delivery of lines is just very confusing. Like her being the one, I can't tell if it's British or if it's like British American she's trying to go for.
She's British.
Yeah, but as in like when she's the only British character, I'm
Yeah.
just like,
It's a little bit
why?
jarring.
Yeah, I'm like, why?
The thing is I've not seen her in anything else apart from this and Solo.
Yeah, I was gonna say she's in Solo, isn't she? She in Game
Solo
of Thrones
is
apparently.
really
As well.
mid-tier movie, but she's quite good in Solo. Like I quite liked her. She's only got like a small role, but I quite liked her, and I was excited to like see what they do with her character, especially because she's like a gender swapped version of a different character of the same character. So I thought, oh, maybe they're gonna like play into that, make it about gender as well as race, and they sort of don't bother. It's just sort of like, you know, she's just that character. And like in the last episode, like me and Finton said, like she kills people for like no reason. Like it's a bit like they just need a villain. They just need a villain, and she's sort of like
To be like, I know we were talking about this earlier, but it's kind of making more sense the more I think about it. Because we were saying like Carly's not a great villain, but at the same time they need Carly to be there to make John the villain. So they needed another one to make John the villain. Which should we just get into it now?
I think by the end of it all, Carly isn't going to be like seen as a villain. She's going to end up a hero because John Walker is definitively going to become this.
Do we make the statement now?
We made a statement now.
John Walker is a murderer.
He kills. He like it's crazy.
I'm fairly sure he just cuts off the dude's head. Because
Nah,
like,
that
the
isn't
shield
what
is
happened.
going to his skull.
That isn't what happened, and that kind of bothered me. But I'll get into it. So
It's a 12 though. They couldn't actually show it. So.
ridiculous. Should be PG-13. I'm joking. But
That is a 12. Oh no, wait, is that? Yeah, it is, because R is 15 and 18 in the UK, so PG-13 is 12.
fair play. But yeah. So John, he doesn't just kill a guy for no reason. He takes the serum. So all the serum is smashed by Zemo except one vial. Convenient. John finds it, takes it, and there was a nice contrast between Sam and John because someone asks Sam, if you could take the serum, would you? And Sam like don't even think, he goes no.
Oh, it's Zemo where he's like, oh, no hesitation, impressive.
Hesitation. Oh, I love Zemo. Zemo still stands
He's
out.
so good.
But yeah, so there's that good bit there. Then later, Lamar is like, no, sorry, John asks Lamar,
Would he take it? Yeah.
Lamar's like, yes, definitely. And then John's on about like, oh, but we did this and this without it. And he's like, but imagine what we could have done with it.
Oh no, I think it's what his exact wording is it makes you more of who you already are. Like, look at Carly, look at Steve. That's the line.
That was it. That was it. It makes you more of who you are.
I think that was my favourite line of the episode. Where it's like, it makes you more of who you are. I was like...
It was good. Also, I'm not 100% sure Lamar is dead.
Oh, we're just gonna go straight into that.
Yeah, Lamar dies, and I don't.
Yeah,
I'm
Carly
not
throws
100%
him at a brick wall. No, not a brick wall. It's a pillar in the middle of a room, isn't it? And just, I'm
Yeah.
assuming, snaps his neck.
Well, I don't know if it does because it was so weird. Because earlier on, right, in the same setting, one of the super serum people punched him in the face. He was fine. Like, he got knocked out, but other than that, he was okay.
Yeah, but you could see the force that Carly put into it. Like, they deliberately did it so the sound is so much louder and there's no other noise, so you can hear the...
Yeah, that is true. It was a loud noise, and it does look like he's dead. But there was just one shot where it lingers on his face, and I thought, I wonder if maybe he isn't dead, because I thought he was going to be set up to be something more than just the sidekick.
To be fair, I was thinking that John would go mental and kill somebody, not thinking Lamar would be the reason he does it. But then Lamar would be the one that becomes like the second Captain America because they take it off John for going rogue and killing somebody.
Oh, really?
But, yeah, that was my it was my far-fetched idea, but I was like, it could potentially happen. But my thing for thinking that Lamar is actually dead is they spend that time, like, I know which shot you're on about, which is the one after it, but the one beforehand where they spend it lingering on him and then you watch his head slowly tilt and then just drop. Makes me think it's like he's gone from being knocked out to actually being dead, and that's what's flipped John.
Very true. Yeah, okay. Maybe he is dead.
But I do feel like he might not be dead because that long shot, I'm like,
it's we'll see. But I'm hoping he's not dead because I thought there was going to be more to him, and
I just really enjoy his character. Like the bit where,
Yeah.
you know, the bit with the it makes you more of yourself, but the bit before that, where he's like, how long before that starts getting annoying? How jealous are you? I've even got a little Battlestar logo I can put on it. Like that just made me laugh. It was like he's thought out his signature.
That's the thing. Like he is quite a nice seeming person, so I did want more of him. But let's talk about that murder scene because that murder scene was.
Which one? Lamar or
the murder scene, the Captain America murder scene.
everybody films it? See, yes.
You know what? It was so good. In my opinion, I actually felt uncomfortable. Like when I was watching it, like when
The way they did it. Sorry. You go.
It was just crazy because I can hear your mom there in the background.
Yeah.
But it was just the way he raises the shield, right? And a lot of people won't be looking at it as like a symbolic thing, but like we're big MCU people, and obviously we edit a lot of our own stuff as well. So for me, that shot was really very much like such a contrast to Steve. You know, like Steve raises the shield, it's to protect. This guy raises the shield and he slams it down on a like on
multiple times.
I don't even know what he slammed it down on, but like he was
The thing that
him.
like we were saying, we do a lot of editing. So like I think my favorite shot in the entire episode is that one, not just before it ends, but the one before where you see the person filming it. But they've taken out all of like the filters, and it legitimately just looks like somebody filming it on the street. And it's just through the phone lens. I was like, that
was good. I did like that.
incredible.
I thought that whole scene was really good, and I liked the fact that there were people around like recording it and stuff, because I thought, that is.
I was like, this is the end of Captain America now. Just that it is.
I think he's gonna become US agent from this point on.
Oh yeah, he will be.
Like
He'll
from
go
now
rogue,
on.
and that's how he becomes it.
Yeah. What else did I like? I thought it was actually very gruesome. Like there was blood all over the place, and then that final shot as well of him standing with the blood on the shield. Very nice. I thought that was great.
Definitely.
Also, just to clarify, I don't know if I think I did say he took the serum. We know he took the serum because obviously he had that conversation. And then there's a point where he's fighting. So before all this happens, he's fighting the Wakandan warriors. I looked it up because I wanted to pronounce it. Dora Milaje. And he's fighting them, and they beat the shit out of him. Like they like nearly kill him. Like
the only reason he's alive is because of Sam and Bucky. Quite frankly,
they beat his ass so bad that Sam and Bucky like step in to intervene, which I was just a bit like, Roach, let them do their thing.
That's one of the things I found funniest though, is when the fight starts and they're both just standing there like, we should do something about this.
Yeah.
That was so good.
That was a nice bit, but yeah. So he gets beat up badly by them, and so does
Can
Lamar.
I just say one very cool thing that happens? You know the bit where they throw the spear, but it gets the shield and his arm's stuck on the table. I was like, that's just awesome.
I wonder. See, that made me think. Okay, if they wanted him dead, he would be dead. So I think maybe they were just trying to incapacitate.
Yeah, I guess their main target was Zemo.
Yeah, exactly. Because so if you don't know, the Dora Milaje are after Zemo because Zemo obviously killed King T'Chaka. Yeah, King T'Chaka. And
that's the right one.
That's right. I nearly said T'Challa, but it is T'Chaka, and it's because I love Black Panther. Like I love watching
it's
that.
So good.
I actually quite like Michael Jordan's performance.
I really do. I think everything about the movie is really good.
I think people have a problem with his performance or something. I like how he had all the little scars. I just thought it was cool. But anyway, so yeah, they beat the shit out of the new Captain America. They kind of beat the shit out of Bucky and Sam too, like a little bit, like not as much.
They hold their own though. Like they do get punched, but they can hold their own.
Yeah, they are. They get on with it better. And after this, new Cap looks to Lamar and he's like, they weren't even super soldiers. He's like broken by this. He's like very upset because he's meant to be Captain America. He got beat the fuck up. And then that's
putting it politely.
And that's what leads him to taking the serum. And the moment we realize he's taking the serum is he throws the shield and it like lodges into the wall. It was like,
I think I didn't realize until Sam comes when they're fighting, and Sam's like, "Wait, what have you done?" And that was the point where I realized, he's taken the shot. That's how he's beating all of these guys up.
For me, it was the moment when he threw the shield and it lodged into the wall, and there's a bit where someone comes at him with like a pipe or something.
Oh,
and
he bent. Yeah, when he bent it.
And I was like, he could not do that before. He's defo taking the serum. I wonder if maybe I would have liked to see him take.
This is what I was literally just about to say. I was like, I think we should have seen him do it.
I feel like that's quite a big thing. Like, I don't know. Also, should we talk about that little inconsistency that I noticed? You said it wasn't an inconsistency, but I stand by my point.
I think you've missed it because I went back and scrubbed through it, and it's definitely Bucky like punches through the crowd when he's chasing them.
But see, right, so there's a scene where Bucky's chasing Carly, right? And she runs through like a room of goons, and Bucky runs in with her, and then the goons are there. I saw the bit where he punched through them, right? But my thing was, right, Carly's running one way, Sam is back where Bucky came from. And then in the next scene, Bucky's back with Sam. He just turns up. So for me, and I was explaining this to Finton, for me it looked like they were setting up a sort of Captain America in the elevator style scene where Bucky runs in, gets trapped by these guys, then beats them all up, and then continues to chase Carly. Instead, we don't get that, and he turns back up with Sam. Maybe I am missing something continuity-wise, like maybe Sam moved rooms or something. But I just felt like it was weird. I'm gonna rewatch later or at some point and just make sure that I'm not tripping. That was on first viewing, I noticed that, and then like I said, we had like a 2-hour lecture in between that, so maybe I'm shaky on details. But Finton said that I was bullshitting, so maybe. But yeah. Oh, and also Zemo escapes in this episode, which kind of made me sad.
The fact he escapes down a sewer is what makes me. It made me laugh so much.
I was like, really? And then
it's the way the door shuts and then they come in and he's like, the drain covers come off. I'm like, oh, he's just jumped down a sewer.
The bit that got me was when they went, man, he El Chapo'd himself or something like that. And I was like, well, what is going on? But yeah, Zemo escapes. I still think Sharon Carter
is dodgy.
Dodgy agent. Dodgy.
Absolutely. How she got access to a satellite.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. How has she got all this power? Also, just a like small thing that I noticed. This episode for me wasn't named. It was just episode 4.
Wait, let me double check.
I don't know if like maybe that because I watched
sure it was named
dead on
me.
at 8.
I'm pretty sure mine hadn't. Yeah, I think you had a bit of an issue there, bro, because it was definitely named for me.
Oh really? For me, it was episode 4. And the thing was just like generic script.
It is called The Whole World Is Watching.
Oh, see, for me, it just came up episode 4. That's really weird. But I liked this more. Now that I know that title, I actually like it even more, right? Because it makes sense thematically. But a reason this episode is kind of elevated for me over the last one was because the last one was called Power Broker. And we ain't seen no Power Broker. Unless, like I said...
He's mentioned in this one.
Who's getting updates and emails, eh?
That's you.
Oh. Okay. Well, in that case, I'm gonna go look at that in a bit. But nah. So I still 100% think Sharon Carter is very dodgy. Like I know she's admitted to doing dodgy shit, but I think she's in cahoots with the Power Broker. And I think the Power Broker is gonna be someone we've already seen. So it could even be Sharon.
Do you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking Carly's not going to be the villain.
Yeah.
Because the Power Broker's going to deal with Carly, and Sam and Bucky have to deal with John. Because the Power Broker in this episode is like, I want the serum back, but Zemo's destroyed the serum. And she's going to kill, and they're going to kill him. I don't know who is the Power Broker? Is it he or she? I don't know.
I think in the comics, he's male.
Okay. Let's go with he for the minute, because, you know, we haven't seen him yet.
Sure, it's male. But obviously, Carly in the comics is Carl, I believe. So gender swapped roles are happening. So it could very well be. That's why I was saying I think maybe it's going to be Sharon, because we know she's
got a satellite, for the love of God.
You know what I mean? And she was conveniently there in the last episode when the lady got sniped and she was about to reveal information about Power Broker and stuff like that. So seems likely to me. Yeah. There was something else that I wanted to talk about.
I do just want to mention, just because, just quickly, I think that penultimate shot of the episode with the person filming got another email. Jesus. But yeah, with the with that video, like of them videoing, I feel like that's gonna be like a very significant thing in the MCU, or at least that scene itself that's gonna have massive ramifications like outside of the show.
Like maybe Cap's gonna become, sorry, not Cap, maybe Sam is gonna become Cap, and then people are gonna be like, but do we even want another Captain America? Look what happened to the last one, you know what I mean? Like things like that. Who knows? But one thing I did want to bring up, just a topic of discussion. Is Zemo,
my god, so many emails.
I know, it's crazy. Is Zemo gonna die?
No.
You don't think so?
Zemo's gonna have so much to do with Phase 4. He's gonna be a Phase 4 villain.
I want I was gonna say I want more Zemo because I want.
Have you seen Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
No.
Anyone that's watched it, he's gonna be the Pontiac Bandit. I'm calling it.
I've seen bits of it. I'm not a massive fan.
Zemo's gonna be one of them villains that they have to work with a lot of the time, but will always escape them whenever they try and actually apprehend him, just like he's done today.
He's the next Loki.
And he's just hilarious. I just want more of him because he's so funny.
The actor does a good job. But yeah, so you don't think Zemo's gonna die? Because see, for me, I'd actually really like him. I don't know whose villain he is originally. I feel like maybe he's a Cap villain. Could be wrong. But
I mean, at this point, every villain's got something to do with every hero, so.
Exactly. What my point was, I want to see him in the next Black Panther movie as the main villain. Because we see the Dora Milaje are after him. I don't think they'll get him in this, but obviously, due to the passing of Chadwick Boseman, we know that it's not going to be focused on him. We're going to have a new Black Panther, presumably Shuri. Although that actress, what's her name?
Brain.
I know her name. I'm going to Google it. I'm pretty sure it's.
Yeah. Go to our old friend Google because I don't want to mess it up.
I was right. It's Letitia Wright. It is Letitia Wright. She got in a bit of trouble recently on about vaccines and stuff like that. It was a bit weird. It was a bit controversial. I don't know what's going on there. So I imagine.
Just on a separate note, the cancel culture is getting on my nerves.
Yeah, like don't cancel over that. It's just an opinion. You know what I'm saying? I don't think she meant anything malicious from it. But anyway, your opinions are your opinions. You know what I mean?
That'll be a let's get into it.
Yeah, that'll be a let's get into it one day. But
which, by the way, we probably should say they are coming. We've had uni assessments for the last 2 weeks, so we haven't had time. From next week, they'll be back. I promise.
I actually think I would like a female Black Panther. I think this might be, on a completely separate note, this might be a really good time, right, for more female superheroes to get like standard. Like we know Black Widow's coming out supposedly, finally soon.
Whether that will happen or not.
And then we had WandaVision, but for me it was very much WandaVision. Like Vision was part of it and he was cool, but I was much more invested in Wanda's story. And then presumably we're gonna have a Black Panther that is female, I would guess, because I'm pretty sure it's gonna be Shuri. And if for some reason Disney decides not to do it, it might be
Ironheart as well.
Ironheart, yeah, there you go. I just had a little thought there. If Letitia Wright isn't brought back to play as Shuri, they might get one of the Dora Milaje lit women to be the next Black Panther.
Or Okoye.
Or Okoye, yeah. Or what's T'Challa's girlfriend's name? Could be her.
Totally
or actually,
that, but don't.
Wasn't one of the big theories that it's going to be Mbappe?
I wouldn't mind that.
I'd be okay with it, but like, let's, you know what I mean? Like, let's have females.
I was gonna say my issue with that would be it would be a very Wakanda
I'm not a person
film
like
again.
Forced diversity. Like forced diversity to me is just as bad as not including like different genders and people of color, because it's almost like, okay, fine, and like giving in and like that's
it's a we have to include you, so we
yeah,
rather
exactly.
than it.
Whereas I think it would make sense to have a female Black Panther. Like I think it would be cool.
Yeah. My only issue with Mbappe would be that it would make it another Wakanda-centered film, because it'd be like clearly nobody's gonna like.
I'm cool with that.
Oh, I've got no problem with it, but I'm just like it's gonna feel like a repeat of the first one, kind of thing.
I want this is like my big thing that I want, right? I want games and also a movie to focus greatly on Asgard and Wakanda and like explore them as cities and like make it more focused.
The Avengers thing is adding Wakanda in the next month.
I saw, but is it going to be like an open hub environment type?
It's going to be an entire new area.
Interesting.
This is the thing. Avengers has done well. It will do well in 6 months from now, not now.
Yeah, when all the expansions and all that bullshit is out. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
But we've gone so off topic here. Talk about
honestly.
Yeah, but
because we haven't done a video in a while. We've got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, it's been a long time, so we're happy. But I want Zemo to be Black Panther 2, whatever they call that movie. I want him to be the villain. I want him to escape the Dora Milaje. I really like T'Chaka. We had him for 5 minutes.
Let's do this and let's get into it. Let's not make this too long because we always make these too long.
You're right.
Right, let's rate the episode unless you've got anything else.
Nah, I'm good.
Okay, right.
You go first. I want to hear your rating.
I'd say an 8.
8. I think, 8. I agree. I think I gave the last one a 9 and I said this one was better.
No, I think you give it an 8 and I give it a 9.
Okay. In that case, 8. Like,
yeah. If the first half was better, it would have been a 10. Because the second half goes off. Like the second half is mad.
Second half's really, really good. Yeah. I enjoyed the first half as well, but the second half is definitely the better part of the two.
Yeah.
But that's our thoughts, our ratings. Thank you for sticking through all the way to the end. If you did, if you didn't, you won't see this bit, so I'm not addressing you anyway. And yeah, that's
do the YouTube stuff, you know. Got to get that stuff in YouTube.
Subscribe, share.
I'll sort out my green screen. I don't know what's going on here.
Well, I never understand why people say turn on notifications. Don't bother with that. Just watch the video when you watch it.
True, it doesn't make sense.
I can't say it. It's so weird. But anyway,
just subscribe. We're on like 57 at the minute. If we could get that.
Turn on notifications.
Yeah. Don't get why we do it, but do it anyway.
I'm playing. But thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.